Yeah, figure it out, them a link and them hurt Niah and whatsoever. My car I mash up. Brother, I'm have to buy back my car same time, my youth. You know that if you buy back my car same time, you know that if you send money come give me if me go get a place rent. For move from Yassa where me there. So I didn't think them want to break down to you know, because Saddamite boy, Akeem and figure it out. I no followers and no millions. If me and a friend, my car mash up, I would have to get it back same time. You know that if make me get back my car. Man mash up my car and say they know my address and whatsoever. You would have to make me move from this address here. I one room I live in here, so you would have to make me go rent one 2 or 3 bedroom. If me and a friend boy. Me not stop pay to know till we get justice to you them.
Crushbread gives more proof to prove that Akeem and Figure It Out are responsible for the unaliving of TikToker Niah. Also making today's exclusive, Cottage, Manchester placed under police imposed curfew. We also have making today's exclusive, Police Commissioner urges focus on victims, not criminals in national crime discourse. Also making today's exclusive, St. Mary laborer killed after being struck by falling tree. So before we get no further in detail in this exclusive, I just want to bless up all of my lovely supporters over here at Common Sense, the place to be for the latest and the factual exclusive news updates them. Also, I just want to emphasize that all of my lovely supporters them are smash up the thumbs up button, which by now you guys supposed to know that's the part of the daily rule, which is you guys know so the faster we get the likes button past 1,000 likes quick and fast is the quicker YouTube will automatically rank and recommend the videos and push it out to more law-abiding citizens so them can get these updates needed to better protect themselves and their loved ones from these criminal rugrats, likewise these criminal activities. Also remember now more people the golden rule, which is to press that red subscribe button down below, press the bell beside it and press all so that as my Japan X exclusive, you guys be one of the first persons to receive it, and remember to share your individual thoughts within the comment section and I personally Common Sense will be responding to those comments. So now let's get more in detail in these exclusive which you guys have been waiting on. One of which, as I stated before, you guys see the video I'm play phone on no ear. That is the voice of Crushbread, one of the labeled Dan from down there in Pantan Lane, Olaba, who is said to be responsible for the unaliving of a Niah gang. Yeah man, that same TikToker who has died 1 year and had now. That's the same case we come back up with some fresh updates with people. This is Crushbread proving to us, pinpointing that Akeem and Figure It Out, you guys supposed to be familiar with them on TikTok. Yeah man, it is stated that they are responsible for the unaliving of this young man. They put a money on his head. They paid contract killers to come and unalive this young man. So right now people, now we see concrete proof have come to us that these men are involved in the youth unaliving. It is so sad. Remember, they are the said persons who was in that verbal confrontation on TikTok that same year when Niah lost his life. You understand? The youth by the name of Figure It Out promised Niah that December wouldn't pass and he was living. And so said, so done. December never passed and Niah not dead. It's 7th of December, them unalive Niah. Then guess what? All hell broke loose. All fingers start point east, west, north, and south. Now, see it come down to the nitty-gritty here, and the proof is concrete, and the proof is here. Figure It Out and Akeem is responsible for Niah's unaliving. We are now just wondering what the police are doing. What are the police waiting on to finish up them investigation and do what them have to do. You understand? Because me not go sit down out here so and allow them to just unalive the youth just so, and we just make it sleep. You understand? From them do the time, from them do the crime, my bad, they should surely do the crime, do the time for the crime what them do. And from Akeem and Figure It Out, from them have concrete proof against Uno say Uno responsible for Niah's unaliving. Even if you guys are just the mastermind, you guys deserve to do the time for the crime which Uno have done, which is take out a great youth. You understand? Me no know what Niah do no so Uno couldn't overlook it, Uno couldn't talk it out. Uno have to make an example out of him. That was the same words we come from Uno mouth, so Uno gonna make an example out of him. And see there, Uno did make an example out of him. Uno did unalive the youth, left him daughter, unalive him, left him family. Now guess what? Uno gets trouble now and trouble a creep up on Uno want come out here, come fake it, come out here, come cry, but guess what? It nah go help Uno. Me I tell you because it's God. God is a very just God. I say because uno unjustfully kill Niah and justfully put a price on Niah head, same so uno go get the pay because uno can't plan can and want reap peace. Remember me tell uno that. So once more again, people, as I say, I want to share on thoughts on this incident involving Akeem and figure it out, being the man them what them say are the mastermind behind Niah's unaliving. Wanna think if you think that is factual. Cause basically, as I say, remember say them and Niah have the most recent beat before Niah did. So when people start say that now 1 year after all was said and done and uno say uno squash it, uno prove uno innocence and right now say a phone name call up back, it look good for uno. And I tell uno the truth. Uno look like some friend killer within the media. You understand? So right now people don't know when I go link up on one information or one topic. We're gonna make sure so we get all of these concrete confirmed information. So this one on my have phone is stating that a St. Mary laborer killed after being struck by falling tree. So police in St. Mary have launched an investigation into a fatal incident in which a man died after a tree reportedly fell on him in the Belfield area on Friday morning. The deceased has been identified as 50-year-old laborer Calfat Hugo, a resident of Belfield in the parish. According to preliminary reports, the incident occurred around 10:45 a.m. when Hugo was struck by the falling tree and suffered serious injuries. He was transported to the Port Maria Hospital for treatment but later died while receiving medical care. Investigators assigned to the Belfield police station are continuing inquiries into the circumstances surrounding the incident. So basically, people, it not look like this is even a man was cutting down a tree and this man get killed. It look like the tree rotten or the tree just decided say it gonna give way this morning. Unfortunately, this man was at the wrong place at the wrong time. This man, he was the only person there when the tree dropped and the tree dropped on him. You know, so if you hold a tree drop on it, depends on even the size. Yeah, it is more than inevitable for you to die because one whole tree drop on a man, mash you up, man. Jano star vegetable here that turn if you even survive that hit. You understand? So as I said, this is a quick update on what really went down with Mr. 50-year-old Calfat Hugo, a resident of Belfield in St. Mary Parish. Yeah, this is just another update to make you guys know so you have to beware when passing old tree, beware when the rain fall and when you say oh the land is kinda saturated. When the tree look young, all when it look strong, each same one will tear down in your house. It not have to be upon you personally. Tear down in your house and kill your entire family, tear down for your car, black road, and tear down for light wire, people out of power. That is not nice, same way. So people, you guys just have to be aware, and this is just another indication of you guys just to put on up on alert that when you see the earth is saturated and a bag of rain, beware of landslide and tree falling and all of them things there, you see me? At the same time, people will not go linger either. We're going to jump more in detail and some more in detail exclusive which you guys have been waiting on. One of which is stated that Cottage Manchester is now under the state of emergency. Yeah, man, right now them have Cottage Manchester under an imposed curfew. Yeah, so the news reaching Common Sense Online is stating that a 48 hours curfew has been imposed in sections of Cottage in Manchester. The curfew commenced at 7:15 p.m. on Friday, February the 6th, 2026, and will remain in effect until 7:15 p.m. on Sunday, February the 8th, 2026. The boundaries of the curfew are outlined as follows. North, from an area of vegetation at the northern boundary continuing 3,400 meters, Yemen, along an imaginary line to an area of vegetation at the eastern boundary. This boundary is bordered by Breeze Hole District. Also, it is stated that east from an area of vegetation at north boundary continuing 5,190 meters to an area of vegetation at the southern boundary. This boundary is bordered by Waterloo District. From an area of vegetation eastern boundary continuing 4,100 meters along an imaginary line to an area of vegetation at the western boundary. This boundary is bordered by Comfort Hall District. West, from the southern boundary continuing 5,000 meters along an imaginary line to this vegetation area at the northern boundary. This boundary runs from Evergreen District to Rose Valley District. During the hours of curfew, individuals within these boundaries of the curfew are required to remain indoors unless otherwise authorized by the persons in charge of enforcing the curfew. So Basically, it look like them now go and go down there in a cottage in a Manchester. So the police them have them under strict orders. Yeah man, like a beer pitney live down in Manchester, them can't get a hold of themselves. These dirty criminal elements down there take set upon the people them down there can't live comfortable. People can't go about them business peacefully. You understand? People have to live in a house like a pitney under orders like them a baby. You understand? All because of the hands of these dirty criminal rugrats, which common sense has been coming out here emphasizing that we need to get rid of these criminal rugrats by any means necessary, because these criminals tend to have a tendency to want to take over our country, ravage our society, change the mindset of our youth, and tricking the youth, make them feel like badness pays, which badness not pay nothing more than for the because God dead us, or either you got dead us or you got jail, or you have to run wanted from police or bad man at the same time. You understand? So we as the youth them out here come out here for wise up the youth them, and I emphasize the youth and youth better wanna have sense and pick, choose and refuse on the company wanna pick. You see me? On a circle I got entails or it I got illustrate what you are gonna become in a life, brother. If you keep yourself around thief and criminal, automatically you are gonna become a thief or a criminal. If you mix up with people who try to elevate in a life, automatically you will be elevating. That's simple what me I try to say youths and youth. Don't get mixed up in a crime and violence because it not pays whether your name Dan or Gan Gargan or the Dan right hand, you go dead or you go prison. Nobody not go like you. Even if people fear you, them not like you. Them disappear upon the day name, the police killer or a bad man killer. Beware youths and youths. You know if you need to have sense, brother, be smarter, brother, cause as I said before, badness not go ever pay. You see me? At the same time, common sense will be just getting more in detail in the exclusive of all exclusives, which we know you guys have been patiently waiting on, which is stating that the police commissioner urges focus on victims, not criminals in national crime discourse. So the news reaching common sense online is stating that police commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has called for a national shift in focus from violent offenders towards victims whose lives are cut short by crime, warning that public debate too often centers on the perpetrators while the people they kill remains nameless. In an address to members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, published in the week's force orders, Dr. Blake cited a recent double murder in St. James as a stark example of the human cost of violent crime. On Monday of this week, a 51-year-old male and a 61-year-old female were on their way home in their cars in St. James when they were attacked and murdered just because the hoodlums wanted their vehicles, the commissioner said. He noted that based on available information, the victims had done nothing to provoke the attack. They had families, friends, loved ones, plans, resolutions, graduations to proudly attend, a future to help to build for those who depended on them, and a lot more of life to enjoy, he said. Dr. Blake concentrated that the experience of victims with what he described as narratives that portray violent offenders as misunderstood or harmless. These are the types of people that you are up against daily, he told members. There are the ones that these distractors want the society to believe would never turn their weapons against you. He criticized what he described as attempts by some commentators to frame heavily armed criminals as young men who have, according to ones that these detractors want the society to believe would have never turned their weapons against you. Also, these young men who have, according to the sympathizers, lost their way and are in need of care and opportunities. According to the commissioner, such portrayal ignore the realities faced by police officers on the ground and minimize the danger posed by individuals who routinely commit acts of extreme violence. Dr. Blake also addressed public commentary surrounding fatal police shootings, including a triple fatal incident on the Mandela Highway last year, questioning the logic behind claims of unlawful conduct by officers in highly visible high-risk environments. The illogical of believing that we are so dumb to think that a busy highway as Mandela and a time as hectic as midday are ideal conditions for unlawful killings in baffling, he said. He added that allegations of widespread unlawful killings were particularly troubling given that an independent oversight body has full access to the investigation police actions. Also, the illogic to believe that we are going around risking our lives, reputation, families, and freedom to carry out wanton killings is disheartening, the commissioner said. Dr. Blake urged civil society groups, advocacy organizations, and commentators to redirect their efforts toward discouraging armed criminals from confronting police officers. Our time would be better spent if these persons, groups, and organizations join our voice in appeal to the murderous thugs to not raise their weapons against the police when we have to confront them, he said. As an example, he pointed to the recent arrest of a high-risk suspect known as Courtney Bloodstain Ashley, who was taken into custody without loss of life. Also, yet he was safely apprehended and in custody, even while trying to escape, Dr. Blake said, noting that the suspect will now have his day in court. He added that hundreds of people are arrested each year for firearms-related offenses without deadly force being used. They present no deadly challenge, and so we had no reason to meet them with deadly response, he said. The commissioner ended his remarks with a message of reassurance to officers on the front line, affirming his support for those who act lawfully and professionally. You are not alone, you are not unappreciated, and you are not unsupported, Dr. Blake said. Remains calm in the noise and confident that your leadership will always stand with you once you act within the law and in the interest of protecting life and society. He added that in the end of the public would judge officers not by the loudest voice, but by your integrity, your restraint, and your result. So basically, people, as I say, the commissioner just asks better communication with the citizens and the police officers into crime fighting, and that's a good initiative, you see me? So once more again, from your device, you know, your host Common Sense forward out with a factual exclusive, a quick factual exclusive, just to give you guys a quick insight on what is taking place daily and hourly in our Jamaican society. So feel free to subscribe to get the latest updates as them drop over here. Press the bell notification and press all so that as we drop our next exclusive, you guys will be one of the first to receive it. Remember now the golden rule, which is smash up that thumbs up button. Let's get it past 1,000 likes quick and fast, and the faster we get the thumbs up button past 1,000 likes, will be the quicker YouTube algorithm rank the video within its algorithm and push out the videos to more law-abiding citizens so them can better protect themselves and their loved ones from these criminal activities. Likewise, these criminal rugrats who tends to have a tendency to want to plague our Jamaican society, which we won't allow. That's why I'm been emphasize that you guys should tell a friend. If you tell a friend you're over here, say that Common Sense is the place to be for the latest and the factual exclusives only. Also,